Greetings and welcome to this week's CCRP update. CCRP Jamaica is a non-profit, non-denominational and non-political membership organization for individuals aged 40 and over. Our mission, to ensure the talent, experience and wisdom of seniors are respected, to ensure seniors enjoy the quality of life they deserve, to empower seniors to continue contributing to their communities, country and region. This program is proudly brought to you by Juicy Patties, always serving the land we love. From serving seriously good Jamaican food to empowering our communities, Juicy is proud to nourish Jamaica in every way. In this week's update, today we join the positive forces in an often harsh and hurting world to embrace today's observance of International Day of Hope. The Reverend Astor Carlyle, pastor of the Webster Memorial United Church, will shepherd our hearts and our minds with a special couple of messages of hope. Great day for this. But first, just a little family business. Make sure you secure your tickets for this year's CCRP NDTC benefit on Sunday the 19th of June. Contribution is $4,000 and they're available at the CCRP head office or B. Weller's Pharmacy at Phoenix Central 2 Phoenix Avenue, Kingston 10, or at the Kingston bookstores in Ligani, Post Mall, or Springs Plaza. Do come on out with family and friends for a wonderful evening of dance, song, and more, including a tribute to Jimmy Cliff. That's next Sunday, the 19th of July at 5 p.m. All proceeds go to our outreach programs. Help us to continue advocating for your rights and assisting seniors in need. When you are a CCRP member, you are actively supporting the rights of seniors and the elderly and participating in our outreach program. Members can make their great savings with discounts of up to 30% from our over 100 discount partners. If you're 40 or over and you're eligible to join CCRP, yes, you are. For a fee of only $3,000 a year, CCRP opens up a world of exciting events. They are informative Zoom meetings, regular updates on important benefits, excursions, socials, wellness, and lifestyle events. CCRP offers 2 health insurance plans underwritten by Sagicor and an international health plan underwritten by Lloyd's of London. There's also the BCIC J&GI Silver Shield plan for motor and property insurance exclusively for CCRP members. For more information or to join online, visit our website ccrponline.org. On next week's Sunday's program, we'll be joined by Dr. Kimorley Humphrey, Principal Director, Enabling Environment and Credit Service Division of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, who'll share information on the ministry's Special Care Fund, CARE, Community Arranged Response Efforts Fund. And now to the core of today's update. Hope is healing. It's a medical and social fact. The CCRP family warmly welcomes Reverend Astor Carlyle, pastor of the Webster Memorial United Church. Heart first. How you do, sir? Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Jerry. I'm good. How are you?
And I'm grateful. Grateful to be alive and for so many things. So we do have hope, don't we?
Well, we have to. Because that is the ground, the foundation of life. That's the essence of life.
And
Hope.
what is hope, this thing called hope?
Well, you may describe it as a highly focused, action-oriented mindset where you work towards a target. It doesn't mean that you won't have challenges, but you look forward knowing that options are available. And so you pursue them, as you said earlier, with a spirit of gratitude. You know, that's the essence of hope.
Wow, that is hope. But then again, it doesn't always go as well as we'd like it to. So when things seem hopeless, everything seems like nothing now go on, how do we express hope in that kind of environment?
Yeah, and as I said before, life has ebbs and flows. It does have dark times and times of light, ups and downs.
Yes.
And we have to appreciate that which makes it meaningful, this thing of hope, is who your hope is founded in, right? Jerry, I know that not everybody is necessarily a person of faith, but if God is your ground of faith, then hope becomes easier, right? Yes. Also, if you surround yourself with persons who are hopeful, that makes the journey of hope easier. If you embrace the spirit of gratitude. That makes hope that the easier, especially in dark and difficult times. Because hope is not flippant optimism, right?
Right.
And optimism is just the belief or confidence that things will just turn out well and they're all roses and the sun is always bright and shining. But things do go wrong. And so should you ground your faith and your hope in this God who doesn't change and this God who is shepherd, who walks you through the tough times. There's an anchorage for the soul, even as you commit to doing what you can to have that kind of positive outcome.
And when it seems darkest, does your hope vary? It might. How do we do that kind of quality control? What do we do? Talk to us, Pastor.
There are some things that I would offer to us in terms of especially hope in dark times.
Yes.
Be open to the possibilities of life. Every day of life is chock full of opportunities for both personal and communal development. And so I also believe that we should approach life prayerfully. Drawing strength and drawing that kind of grace from a source outside of ourselves. If you want to be hopeful, you have to recognize that you are not the reservoir of all knowledge or all resources, right? There's a power beyond ourselves. And the power is, yes, God, but the power is also within community. Drawing from community the inspiration that we need. But what about also engaging? Because hope doesn't just happen. Hope, as I said before, is action oriented. It is taking those steps that are necessary to ensure the hopeful end. So those would be some of the suggestions that I have regarding hope, especially in dark times.
Yes.
You pray,
Yes. Wonderful. And then, of course, the one another thing comes up a lot. For those of us who subscribe to the Christian faith, we see one another coming up all over the Bible. One another. That means that we're not no soldier out the street.
No.
We're in the Gideon and we tough it out. And that, to be resilient is a wonderful thing. But then, so how do we, if we seem to have a little more in the reservoir at the time, help those who just can't see beyond that for their circumstances at the time? And we might have been there too. Help us. How do we shepherd each other daily?
Well, you just answered it. by being intentional shepherds of each other. By looking out for that person who seems down and out. And extending the hand. I think in our world we are so busy trying to deal with our own matters that it's possible to overlook others. But if we would just take the time to listen to another, to look out and search out for another, these help with ensuring hope as an experience for others. Doing tangible things, speaking a word of encouragement. If a person's cupboard is empty, seeking to find a way to replenish that cupboard, whether the cupboard be a psychological cupboard, emotional cupboard, or a material cupboard. Just drawing up alongside each other. None of us was meant to live on our own or by ourselves. We were meant for community. And so the looking out and stretching out the hand and lifting up the fallen and binding the wounds and listening to the stories becomes an important feature of this matter of hope.
Yes. So our national anthem is a prayer, and it's a beautiful prayer. But one of the things that always strikes me is how it mentioned that, we pray for our leaders too. To our leaders, great defender, because we know it's not easy in the Gideon leadership.
Yes.
Give us a little pep talk, Pastor. But how can we? The other includes those who lead us, and we rely on them because of whatever maturity they have in whatever field they bring. They pour it out to us, but it doesn't mean that we leave them on their own if things are not so right. How do we actively convey hope to those who bring hope?
Right. Sometimes by virtue of their offices, we don't have proximity to them, right?
Sure.
But we have proximity to the one who's the ground and foundation of hope, God himself. So it goes back to what I said earlier.
Yes.
Pray for them. Just pray for them. And I would encourage us to be careful how we talk about our leaders.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes, unfortunately, we use social media in ways that demean rather than lift up. So how can we affirm others with the words that we speak or text? How can we pray? How can we encourage others to do the same? I think these will go a far way in terms of engendering the spirit of hope. But also, how do we become the lived experiences of hope? Because that goes a long way with our leaders too. If we do our little part in our area, in our vineyard, clean up the place, be that hand, that foot, be that body that brings a kind of energy and direction to life, that goes a far way in bolstering the work of those who are in leadership, those who give hope.
Very, very well said, sir. Thank you so much. You have a final word, but I mean, you've given us quite a bit. I'm just greedy.
I just want to say, Jerry, that there's hope for living.
Yes.
God has gifted us with life. Every day we ought to engage it with the spirit of gratitude. Let us really seek to do what we can and be all that we can as it regards taking hold of the opportunities and the possibilities of life that exist. God is faithful and he will never leave us nor forsake us. There is hope.
Reverend Astor Carlyle, pastor at the Webster Memorial United Church, thank you so much for your very timely intervention on this International Day of Hope, affirming the healing effects in a world that can go a little crazy and be harsh and be hurtful, but we do have that power vested through the Almighty to bring that hope to each other. And we thank you so much for that word in time, which is very, very, very much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.
Blessings to you. Blessings to you. Yes, an amazing pastor, man of God, and we always like to hear from him because of the power with which his conviction emerges. And that's it for today on the CCRP Update. Blessings to you and yours. Until next Sunday at 3 for all things CCRP, visit our website at ccrponline.org. Like or follow us on all socials at CCRP Jamaica. The Caribbean Community of Retired Persons, CCRP, is a non-profit membership organization for persons 40 and over, retired or preparing for retirement. The program is proudly brought to you by Juicy Patties, always serving the land we love. From serving seriously good Jamaican food to empowering our communities, Juicy is proud to nourish Jamaica in every way.